Woody's done.
Todd Murray done.
Todd's done.
Scooter Winger
Scooter's
done.
done.
Yoder done.
Yoder's done. And waiting on Nolan. There's Nolan.
All drivers are finished. Rowell and Nolan done. The race is completed.
Yeah, it worked out really well.
Graydon Edwards. Willie Madden. Brent Edwards. Eric Rosen. Scott Hafner.
Yeah. All right, get them lined up. It's going to go Graydon, Eric, Brent, Willie, and Scott. We need somebody at the far corner down there by that ProTech banner. Did I not say don't go back to your pits? Did I not say that? Did not say don't go back to your pits. You have about an hour plus to charge your battery. So please don't go back to your pits. Here we go. Graydon, you're going to go on the tone. Eric, Brent, Willie, and Scott.
All right, 3:35 on the clock. Eric out in the 1, Graydon in the 2, Scott in the 3, Willie in the 4, Brent in the 5. Gap between 1 and 2.8 seconds between 2
the top
and
drivers
3.
are Eric Rosen, Graydon Edwards, and Scott Hafner.
Half second. Everyone a little over the place right now, so we'll give it a second here to settle in. Caution after Karen, caution before Chad. Clear. All right, 3 minutes on the clock. Graydon on the 1, Willie in the 2,
After
Brent in the 3,
3
Scott in the
minutes
4,
left,
Eric in the
top
5.
drivers are Graydon Edwards, Willie Madden, and Brent Edwards.
.235 on the clock. Graydon leads round. Brent now up in the 2. Willie in the 3. Willie now up to the 2. Brent in the 3.
After
Scott
1
in the 4.
minute
Eric in
30
the 5.
seconds, the top
2:30 on the clock.
drivers are
Gap between 1 and 2.
Edwards,
4.5
Willie
seconds
Madden,
between 2 and
and Brent
3.1
Edwards.
second. Between 3 and 4. 3.8 seconds between 4 and 5. 1.5 seconds. Next up to this will be a 13.5 4-wheel drive heat 1. I believe we do have at least 1 or 2 back-to-backs. So we will need a couple volunteers.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Graydon Edwards,
2
Willie
minutes on
Madden,
the clock.
and Brent Edwards.
Caution at Todd. All clear. All right, 1:35 on the clock. Todd, you all right? Okay.
After 2
All
minutes
right, Graydon
30
leads
seconds,
round. Brent in the 2,
the
Scott in the
top
3, Willie
drivers
in the
are
4,
Graydon
Eric in the 5.
Edwards, Brent Edwards, and Scott Hafner.
.115 on the clock. All right, again we have Graydon down the 1, Brent in the 2, Scott in the 3, Willie in the 4, Eric in the 5.
1 minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Graydon Edwards, Brent Edwards,
Scott
and
about
Scott
a tenth of
Hafner.
a second. Scott goes up to the 4 overall now.
.45 seconds left.
40 seconds on the clock.
30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Graydon Edwards, Brent Edwards, and Scott Hafner. "15 seconds left.
5 seconds on the clock. Keep going until she calls you done.
Graydon Edwards done.
Graydon, you are done. Everyone else keep going.
Eric Rosen done. Brent Edwards done. Scott Hafner done. All drivers are finished.
All right,
Willie
that's a
Madden
race.
done.
Drop your cars off, get right back out to Marshall.
The race is completed.
$13.5 four-wheel drive is up, looking for Kevin, Josh, Dan, Willie, and Emily. So probably need a volunteer or two for the next round. Kevin, you're up. Yep.
Daniel Matz. Josh Cody.
No, he's in this one.
Emily Weldon. Willie Madden.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get Kevin across the line here, and then we'll get started.
Fearless leader.
All right, got checks on everyone, checks on everyone. Order is going to go Kevin, Josh, Dan, Willie, and Emily again. Kevin, Josh, Dan, Willie, and Emily. All right. And we don't need a marshal out at the end of the straight? No? Okay. All right, driver's ready, marshal's ready. Kevin on the tone, less than 5. Josh. Dan. Willie. Emily. All right, first 30 seconds, we have Kevin on the 1, Dan, Josh in the
After
2.
30 seconds,
Dan goes
the
back
top
up to 3,
drivers
Josh
are
in the
Fearless
3,
leader,
Emily in
Josh
the 4,
Cody,
Willie in the 5.
and Daniel Matz.
.310 on the clock. Gap between 1 and 2, 0.2 seconds between 3 and 4, 0.5 seconds between 3 and 4. We're at 3 seconds now between
After
4 and
3
5.
minutes left,
About
top
1 second.
drivers are Fearless leader, Daniel Matz, and Josh Cody.
Fast lap goes to Daniel, 11.928. Daniel now in the 2 spot. All right, Josh goes up to the 2, Daniel in 3, Willie in the 4, Emily in the 5.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Fearless leader, Josh Cody, and Daniel Matz.
.215 on the clock. Josh now out in the 1, Kevin the 2, Daniel in the 3, Willie in the 4,
After
Emily
2
in the 5.
minutes, the top drivers are Josh Cody, Fearless leader, and Daniel Matz.
Less than 2 minutes. Willie, that's your leader coming up on you. Please lend by. Thank you.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Fearless leader, Josh Cody, and Daniel Matz.
1:20 on the clock. Kevin back out in the 1. Gap between 1 and 2, 0.5 seconds. Between 2 and 3, another 0.5 seconds.
One minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Fearless Leader, Daniel Matz, and Josh Cody.
50 seconds on the clock.
45 seconds left.
Thirty seconds.
30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Fearless Leader, Daniel Matz, and Josh Cody.
Daniel now out in the 1, 20 seconds on the clock.
15 seconds left.
One more lap.
Fearless Leader done. Willie Madden done. Daniel Matz done. Emily Weldon done.
Alright, that's the race. Drop
All
the cars
drivers
off,
are
get
finished.
right back out to Marshall.
Josh Cody done. The race is completed.
Yeah.
Another thing we didn't realize at the time, qualifying was set up to fucking heads up start.
Oh.
So all of it, so Dan TQing, we didn't TQ because Eric's first lap was a fucking 21-second lap to Dan's fucking 17. Even Dan's was slower.
Yeah. Yeah.
And mine was 27 because I was started.
That makes sense.
Lap. And like I said, it was fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Alright, let's get Marshall out to the track.
Notice that their first laps were that fucking.
I know, yeah. Sure. I think I'm in 2, yeah.
Old Guys Rule.
Yeah, you can bring my stuff up. That'd be
Dan
great.
Jefferson.
Is there a battery in it?
Jeff Phelps.
Okay.
Brian Marcroft. Justin Hall. Tail Whip.
Alright, I got checks on everyone. No speed, no speed. Straightaways close, straightaways close. Order's going to go Dan, Jeff, Eric, Mike, Justin, and Brian. Again, Dan, Jeff, Eric, Mike, Justin, and Brian. Alright, driver's ready. Marshall's ready. Dan on the tone, less than 5. Jeff, Eric, Mike, Justin, Brian.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Brian Marcroft, and Justin Hall.
Caution at Karen, caution at Karen. Caution entering. So Dan is your leader, Mike, so he'll be coming up on you here in a sec. Please let him by. Justin out in the 1 now, Dan in the 2, Eric in the 3, Jeff in the 4, Brian in the 5, Mike in the 6. 3 minutes on
3
the clock.
minutes after left. 1 minute 1 second, the top drivers are Justin Hall, Dan Jefferson, and Old Guys Rule.
.240 on the clock.
After 1 minute 31 seconds, the top drivers are Justin
Caution
Hall,
at Karen,
Old
caution
Guys
at
Rule,
Karen,
and Dan
clear.
Jefferson.
2:20 on the clock. Justin out in the 1, Eric in the 2, Dan in the 3, Jeff in the 4, Mike in the 5, Brian in the 6.
2 minutes left. After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and Justin Hall.
.140 on the clock. Jeppesen leading us around. Eric in the 2, Justin in 3, Jeff in the 4, Mike in the 5, Brian in the 6. So far, everyone in this heat outpacing Heat 1.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and Justin Hall.
Jeppesen now in the 1, Hall in the 2, Walzik in the 3, Phelps in the 4, Nguyen in the 5, Marcroft in the 6. Caution at Chad, caution at Chad. Caution straight away, caution straight away.
1
Right,
minute left.
stay wide,
After
stay
3
wide,
minutes,
stay
1
wide, stay
second,
wide, stay wide,
the top
stay wide.
drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Justin Hall, and Old Guys Rule. .45 seconds left.
.30 seconds on the clock.
30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Justin Hall, Dan Jeppesen, and Jeff Phelps.
.15 seconds.
15 seconds left.
Keep going until she calls you done.
Jeff Phelps done. Tail whip done. Dan Jeppesen done. Old Guys Rule done. Justin Hall done. All drivers are finished. Brian Marcroft
All right,
done.
that's the race. Drop your cars off. Get right back
The
out
race
to
is
Marshall.
completed.
13.5 short course Heat 1 is up. I'm in the next one. I'm in 2.
Chris Morrison.
All right, jump in for the either round. Doesn't matter.
Zach Marcinkiewicz. Andrew Tuttle. Graydon Edwards. Todd Murray.
All right, just need Mike to go across the line or wall ride. All right, there we go.
Tail whip.
All right. Order's going to go Andrew, Graydon, Chris, Zach, Todd, and Mike. Again, Andrew, Graydon, Chris, Zach, Todd, and Mike. Drivers ready. Marshall's ready. Andrew on the tone in less than 5. Graydon, Chris, Zach, Todd, Mike.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Chris Morrison, and Andrew Tuttle.
3 minutes on the clock. Mike out in the 1, Chris in the 2, Andrew in the 3, Zach in the 4, Gray in the 5, Todd in the 6.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Chris Morrison, and Andrew Tuttle.
.250 on the clock. .235. Mike out in the 1, Chris in the 2, Andrew in the 3, Zach in the 4, Todd in the 5, Gray in the 6.
After 1 minute 31 seconds, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Chris Morrison, and Andrew Tuttle.
All right, so win out in the 1.
Two minutes left. After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Chris Morrison, and Andrew Tuttle.
All right. Winners on a 19.407.
After 2 minutes 32 seconds,
Chris is
the
on
top
a
drivers are Tail Whip,
18.407.
Chris Morrison, and Graydon Edwards.
Then we drop off the 16s in this heat.
One minute left. After 3 minutes 2 seconds, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Chris Morrison, and
All
Graydon
right.
Edwards.
Mike fell off the 19 lap. There you go, back to 19. He's got 50 seconds left. 19.413 is his pace, fast up
45
at
seconds left.
12.4 in a short course. Roger's not in charge of that anymore, but he'll do it.
30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Chris Morrison, and Andrew Tuttle. 15 seconds left.
Watch on a sweeper, watch on a sweeper, watch out on the sweeper, watch out on the sweeper. All clear, except for Jeff. Don't hit him, he's our sponsor. Or hit him, he's our sponsor, I don't know.
Chris Morrison done. Graydon Edwards done.
All
Todd
right,
Murray
so just
Andrew
waiting
Tuttle
on
done.
Andrew
Zach Marcinkiewicz done.
and Mike. Keep going, Mike, keep going, Mike. Track is still live, track is still live. Mike's getting that extra lap. There we go, Mike
All
with the
drivers are
win.
finished.
19.411 is
Tail
his
whip
pace.
done. The
Throwing
race is
down in the
completed.
first qual. Short course heat 2. Wait till Roger gets done. I did have some. Roger's redoing the whole track now. Because he hit the pipe once, so he's got to move it. Roger won 40 plus up there at Die Hard this weekend, and he took second in mod, so not bad for an old guy. Hall won 13.5 four-wheel up there. Way to go, Justin Hall. All right. We're using the wrong bit. You got to use the other one. Sometimes. It's all good. I haven't
Lil
posted
Puttin.
up that one there.
Chad Kramer,
Yeah.
James Paulson, Terry Brown, Josh
But it's
Cody,
checked in. Bring them around. Line them up. Let's get Roger fix that last little bit. Okay, it's going to Alexander, James, Terry, Josh, and Chad. So Alexander on the tone. Paulson, Terry, Josh, and Chad Kramer.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Josh Cody, James Paulson, and Lil Puttin.
Caleb's loving it. He is just, when he's smiling, it lights up the room, man.
That's awesome. All right, so Paulson out in the one, Alexander the two. Hey,
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are James Paulson, Lil Puttin, and Josh Cody. After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Lil Puttin, James Paulson, and Josh Cody.
all right, so right now Alexander on 18.40. He's not far off of
After
TQ.
2 left, the
He's
top
got
drivers
2 minutes
are Lil Puttin,
left.
James Paulson, and Josh Cody.
18.40. So he needs to bump it up. It's probably about 2 seconds. Still holding at the 4 flat.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top
4
drivers are
flat
Lil
with a
Puttin,
5.
James
Every lap
Paulson,
he's
and
just
Chad
staying
Kramer.
right on that 4 flat. Paulson is at a 4:04. Chad Kramer 4:09. Terry Brown 4:12. Josh Cody 4:12. Oh, that's not going to help. Here comes Paulson. Got 1 minute left.
One minute left. After 3 minutes,
Is that a
1
4:02?
second.
Paulson's
the
at a
top drivers are Lil
4:04.
Puttin,
Oh
James
boy,
Paulson, and
Paulson
Chad
goes
Kramer.
into the 1 now. It's going to put him second overall.
"45 seconds left.
Or that's not. That's actually Terry Brown. So Terry, you've got second place in the race behind you. Or you did.
30 seconds After left. 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are James Paulson, Lil Puttin, and Chad Kramer.
Sorry, that was actually Paulson. Sorry about that, Terry. So let's see. Alexander should go back into the 2 now. I think this time by.
15
Let's see with
seconds
Chad
left.
or Paulson. Now Chad Kramer to the 1. 407, Alexander 408, Paulson 409, Cody 410, Terry Brown 410. All these are within 2 seconds. Time is expiring. Let's see what happens here. Oh no, Chad crashes on the last lap. Keep going. Keep going.
Will
Everybody
Putnam
keep
done.
going. You're all still live.
James Paulson done. Terry
So
Brown
Paulson's
done.
done, Alexander's done. Terry's done. Waiting on Chad and Josh.
Chad Kramer done.
Josh Cody, you're not done yet. Oh well. So Alexander gets the 2 overall. Then it goes Paulson, Terry, Chad, and Josh.
The race is completed.
Stadium truck's up now.
Dan Jefferson. Daniel Matz. Brian Matz.
For overall?
Roland Nolan.
Yeah, throw it down. Go across the line. I'll get this him in and then you can take over. My voice is weird today. No. It's from all the dick I was sucking. Yeah, it looks like an oval guy. Let's get Zach across the line. We need one more corner at the far end down there by the Protec banner. There's Zach.
Zach Marcinkiewicz.
Okay, line them up. Daniel, Jefferson, Mattis, then Brian, Nolan, and Zach. All right, so Daniel Jefferson going to go on the tone. Daniel Mattis, Brian, Nolan, and Zach. All right, Alexander, come on up here and take over.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Daniel Matz, Brian Matz, and Dan Jefferson.
3:25 on the clock. Brian on the 1, Dan on the 2, Zach in the 3, Daniel in the 4, Nolan in the 5. Three minutes on the clock. Gap between 1 and 2 now 0.2 seconds. Between 2 and 3, 2.8 seconds.
After 1 minute
Jefferson
left,
out in the
top
1,
drivers
Brian in
are
the 2,
Dan
Daniel
Jefferson,
in 3,
Brian
Zach in the
Matz,
4, Nolan
and
in the
Daniel
5.
Matz.
How's your buggy coming along? .235 on the clock. Caution around Karen. Clear.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Brian Matz, and Daniel Matz.
All right, gap between 1 and 2 now 2.9 seconds. Gap between 2 and 3 about a second. Between 3 and 4, 3 seconds.
After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Brian
1:55
Matz,
on
and
the
Daniel
clock.
Matz.
Caution getting on the straight. Caution getting on the straight. Jefferson leading us around. Daniel in the 2, Brian in the 3, Zach in the 4, Nolan in the 5.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz.
$1:15 on the clock. Up next, two-wheel drive stock buggy.
One minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz.
Nolan, heads up, you're going to have the top two cars
45
coming up on you.
seconds
Please let them by.
left. "30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz. "15 seconds left.
All right, 10 seconds on the clock. Jefferson leading us round. Daniel in 2, Brian in 3, Zach in 4, Nolan in 5.
Daniel Matz done. Brian Matz done.
Keep going till she calls you done.
Dan Jefferson done. Zach Marcinkiewicz done.
Just waiting on Nolan to go across the line.
All drivers are finished. Roland Nolan done.
All right, that's the race. Drop the cars off. Get
The
right
race
back
is
out to Marshall.
completed.
Eric, is that your body? Oh, it's your whole truck. Okay. Okay. I got you. Nice. Yeah. Well, I kept
Chad
almost
Kramer.
calling it Eric when I was not looking at the computer, so.
Terry Brown. Emily Weldon. Chris Morrison.
All right, just need Brian to go across the line here.
Brian Matz.
All right, got checks on everyone. Marshals, I'm going to need a couple volunteer marshals for this next round, please. No speed, no speed. Straightaways closed, straightaways closed. Again, if I get a couple volunteer marshals, I need someone down at the other end of the driver's stand, please. Someone at the other end of the driver's stand. And thank you, Matt. All right, order's going to go Brian, Chad, Terry, Chris, and Emily. Again, Brian, Chad, Terry, Chris, and Emily. Drivers ready, marshals ready. Brian on the tone in less than 5. Chad, Terry, Chris, Emily. .3:30 on the clock.
After 30 seconds,
Chad
the
leading us
top
round.
drivers
Brian in
are
the 2,
Chad
Terry in the
Kramer,
3, Chris in
Brian
the 4,
Matz,
Emily in the
and
5.
Terry Brown. After
3
1
minutes on the
minute,
clock.
the top drivers are
Brian
Brian
leading
Matz,
us around.
Terry
Terry in the 2,
Brown,
Chris
and
in
Chris
3, Emily in the
Morrison.
4, Chad in the 5.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Brian Matz, Terry Brown, and Chris
2:25
Morrison.
on the clock. Brian leading us around. Gap between 1 and 2, about 1.5 seconds between 2 and 3, 4.2 seconds. Between 3 and 4, 3.1 seconds. Between 4 and 5.6 seconds.
After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Brian Matz, Terry Brown, and Chris Morrison.
.135 on the clock.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Brian Matz, Terry Brown, and Chris Morrison.
1:20 on the clock. Brian leading us around. Terry in the 2, Chad in the 3, Chris in the 4. Chris goes up to the 3 now. Chad down to the 4, Emily in the 5.
One minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Brian Matz, Terry Brown, and Chad Kramer.
50 seconds on the clock.
45 seconds left. .30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Terry Brown, Brian Matz, and Chad Kramer. 15 seconds left.
Five seconds. Keep going until she calls you done.
Brian Matz done. Terry Brown done. Chad Kramer done. Chris Morrison done. All drivers are finished. Emily Weldon done. The race is completed.
All right, drop your cars off, get right back out to Marshall. Heat 2 of Stock Buggy is up. Looking forward, Dan, Clay, Eric, Mike, Todd, and James.
Dan Jefferson. Old Guys Rule. Tail Whip. James Paulson. Clay Folk. Todd Powell.
All right, I got checks on everyone. No speed, no speed. I need one more marshal in the middle. If I get one more volunteer marshal, please. Thank you, Terry. All right, order's going to go Dan, Clay, Eric, Mike, Todd, and James. Again, Dan, Clay, Eric, Mike, Todd, and James. Drivers ready, marshals ready. Dan on the tone, less than 5. Clay, Eric, Mike, Todd, James. After the first 30 seconds, Eric out on the 1, Clay in the 2, Dan in the 3, Todd on the 4, James in the 5, Mike in the 6.
The top drivers are Old Guys Rule, Clay Folk, and Dan Jefferson.
.315 on the clock, gap between 1 and 2, 0.7 seconds, between 2 and 3, 951. 3 and 4.2 seconds between 4 and 5.2 seconds between 5 and 6, 4.7 seconds.
3 minutes left. The top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Clay Folk, and Todd Powell. After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Clay Folk, and Todd Powell.
All right, after 2:20 now on the clock, Dan on the 1, Clay in the 2, Eric in the 3, Todd in the 4, James in the 5, Mike in the 6. 2:15 on the clock, gap between 1 and 2, 1.9 seconds, between 2 and 3, 1.1 seconds. Battle to watch right now between Eric and Todd.
After 2 minutes, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Clay Folk, and Old Guys Rule.
.135 on the clock.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen,
Jeppesen leading
Clay
us
Folk,
around.
and
Clay in
Old
the 2,
Guys
Eric in
Rule.
the 3, Todd in the 4, James in the 5, Mike in the 6.
One minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys Rule, and Clay Folk.
45 seconds.
45 seconds left. "30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Old Guys
25
Rule,
seconds.
and Clay Folk. "15 seconds left.
Keep going till she calls you done.
Dan Jeppesen done. Old Guys Rule done. Clay Folk done. Todd Powell done. Tail Whip done. All drivers are finished. James Paulson done.
All right,
The
drop
race
your
is
cars off.
completed.
Get right back out to Marshall. 2 mod is up.
Robert Bacozzi. Brad Borneo. Roger Same. Justin Hall. Fearless Leader.
All right, I got checks on everyone. No speed, no speed. If I could get a Marshall out to the middle of the track, please. Marshall out to the middle. Caution straight away, caution straight away, caution straight away. Order's going to go Robert, Brad, Roger, Justin, and Kevin. Again, Robert, Brad, Roger, Justin, and Kevin. Again, if I get a Marshall out to the middle, please. Marshall out to the middle. Someone, anyone? All right, thank you, Mike. All right, driver's ready, Marshall's ready. Robert on the tone, less than 5. Brad, Roger, Justin, Kevin.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Roger Same, and Brad Borneal.
All right, after the first minute, we got Bacozzi out in the 1, Borneal in the 2, Hall in the 3, Simon in the 4, Foch in the 5. 11.353 fast lap out of Bacozzi.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Brad Borneal, and Justin Hall.
Caution after Karen, stay inside, clear.
After 1 minute 31 seconds, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Brad Borneal, and Roger Same.
.215 on the clock. Robert out in the 1. Gap between 1 and 2. 2 seconds. Between 2 and 3.3 seconds. Between 3 and 4, 3.5 seconds. Gap between 4 and 5.1 second. Brad out in the 1. Roger in the 2. Robert in the 3. Kevin in the 4. Justin in the 5.
2 minutes After left. 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Brad Borneal, and Roger Same.
.130 on the clock. Bacozzi still leading us around. Borneal in the 2.
Drivers are Robert
Roger in
Bacozzi,
the 3. Justin in the 4.
Borneal,
Kevin in the 5.
and Roger Same. One minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Brad Borneal, and Roger Same.
50 seconds. Borneal now out in the 1. Robert in the 2. Roger in the 3.
45 seconds
Justin in the
left.
4. Kevin in the 5. Fast lap now 11.180 out of Bacozzi.
30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Brad Borneal, Robert Bacozzi, and Roger Same.
20 seconds on the clock.
"15 seconds left. Robert Bacozzi done. Justin Hall done. Brad Borneal done. Roger Same done. All drivers are finished.
All right, that's the
Fearless
race. Drop
leader
your cars
done.
off.
The race is completed.
Yeah, 7-7. What did Roger get? 11-1? Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get sportsmen. Yoder, Willie, Eric, Woody, Arthur, Matt, Willie, Eric, Woody, and Nolan. You guys are in this one. Let's get Maud out to corner marshal. Yeah, I got to make some changes on mine.
All right, 17.5 Sportsman is up. Let's go ahead and get drivers checked in.
Yoder.
Looking for Matt, Willie, Eric, Woody, and Nolan.
Woody Arthur.
Caution on
Eric
the
Rosen.
associated jump. Caution on the associated jump.
Willie Madden. Roland Nolan.
All right, I got checks on everyone. Let's go ahead and get them lined up on the straightaway. Again, order's going to go Matt, Willie, Eric, Woody, and Nolan. All right. Drivers ready. Still need a marshal down at the back, or the end of the straightaway, or start of the straightaway. Marshal at the start of the straightaway. What's up? Okay, perfect. All right. Drivers ready, marshals ready. Matt on the tone in less than 5. Willie, Eric, Woody, Nolan. .3:30 on the clock. Eric out in the
After
1.
30
Matt
seconds,
in the 2. Willie
the
in the
top
3. Woody in
drivers
the
are
4.
Eric Rosen, Yoder, and Willie Madden.
Three minutes on the clock. Matt now out in the 1. Willie in the 2. Woody in the 3.
After
Eric in the 4.
one's
Nolan in the
left,
5.
the top drivers are Yoder, Willie Madden, and Woody Arthur.
Caution straight away. Caution straight away.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Woody Arthur, Yoder, and Willie Madden.
.110 on the clock.
After 2 minutes, the top drivers are Yoder, Willie Madden, and Woody Arthur.
150 on the clock. Caution at Karen. Caution at Karen. Caution after Karen. Caution after Karen.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Yoder, Willie Madden, and Woody Arthur.
Wood 10 on the clock. Matt still leading a strong gap between 1 and 2, 5.6 seconds. Between 2 and 3, 1.6 seconds. Between 3 and 4, 55 seconds.
1 minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Yoder, Willie Madden, and Woody Arthur. 45 seconds left. "30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Yoder, Willie Madden, and Woody Arthur.
20 seconds.
"15 seconds left.
10 seconds. Keep going until she calls you done.
Woody Arthur done. Yoder done. Roland Nolan done. All drivers are finished. Willie Madden done. The race is
Alright, that's
completed.
the race. Drop your cars off. Get right back out to Marshall. Heat 2 of Sportsman Buggies up.
Graydon Edwards. Scott Hafner. Scooter Wingerd. Todd Murray. Brent Edwards.
Alright, got checks on everyone. No speed, no speed. Straightaways closed, straightaways closed. Order's gonna go Graydon, Scooter, Brent, Todd, and Scott. One more corner, where? Alright, drivers ready, Marshall's ready, Graydon on the tone, less than 5. Scooter, Brent, Todd, Scott.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Graydon Edwards, Scooter Wingerd, and Brent Edwards.
Alright, after the first minute, Graydon down the 1, Scooter in the 2, Brent in the 3, Todd in the 4, Scott in the 5.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Graydon Edwards, Scooter Wingerd, and Brent Edwards.
Scott, that's the leader. Please let him by. Thank you. Caution of the AE banner. Caution of the AE banner. Stay inside. Stay inside. Clear.
After 1 minute 31 seconds, the top drivers are Scooter Wingerd, Graydon Edwards, and Brent Edwards.
Caution at Chad. Caution at Chad. Clear. So Scooter out on the 1 now. So far, nothing affecting the overall standing.
2 minutes left. After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Scooter Wingerd, Graydon Edwards, and Brent Edwards.
Marshall, at the AE banner. You out? Broke? Okay. Don't worry, Graydon, you didn't lose position at all. Scooter's about 6/10
After
off
2
pace
minutes 31 seconds,
for the
the
TQ
top
spot.
drivers are Scooter Wingard, Scott Hafner, and Brent Edwards.
Only one moving up so far is Scott. Scott sitting in 3 overall.
One minute left. After 3 minutes 2 seconds, the top drivers are Scooter Wingard,
55
Scott Hafner,
seconds.
and Brent Edwards. "45 seconds left.
35 seconds on the clock.
30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Scooter Wingard, Scott Hafner, and Brent Edwards.
If I give you some scans, could you take pictures of those?
Give me some what?
Chassis protectors, could you get pictures of those?
Yep.
15 seconds left.
Yeah, I have a new photo booth I'm messing with some. I have a bunch of test shots right now of this stuff. I'm just trying to dial it in. Because the angle is a bit weird, so I'm trying to figure out how to raise it so it's a little bit more straight on. Because the logo is kind of down and you can't see the numbers very well. So the overall image looks a lot better, a lot crisper than my other setup.
Scooter Wingard
I
done.
gotta figure out how to tune it now.
Brent Edwards done. Todd Murray done.
So anyways, I am working on them. I didn't put
All drivers are finished.
just
Scott
trying
Hafner done.
I have a whole portfolio of them. They're just all slightly different, so I'm getting it dialed in. But anyways, yes, I can do that.
I win.
The race is completed.
All right, looking for Brian, Eric, Josh, Emily, and Willie. Mike, you're with the fast guys. All right, let's go ahead and get drivers checked in.
Josh Cody. Old Guys Rule. Brian Marcroft. Emily Weldon. Willie Madden.
All right, I got checks on everyone. No speed, no speed. Let's get them lined up on the straightaway. All right. Great, and if I can get you at the start of the straightaway, please. Thank you. All right, order's going to go Brian, Eric, Josh, Emily, and Willie. Again, Brian, Eric, Josh, Emily, and Willie. Drivers ready. Marshall's ready. Brian on the tone, less than 5. Eric, Josh, Emily, Willie.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Brian Marcroft, Josh Cody, and Old Guys Rule.
All right, after the first minute, Brian out in the 1, Eric in the 2, Josh in 3, Emily in the 4, Willie in the 5. Gap between 1 and 2 about half a second. Between 2 and 3, about 0.8 seconds. 3 and 4, 2.6 seconds. And 4 and 5, 1.18 seconds back.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Brian Marcroft, Old Guys Rule, and Josh
Everyone
Cody.
fairly gapped out on the track overall. Closest battle is about a half second. That'd be between Brian and Eric. Again, those two are about a straightaway length between each other right now. Up next up, this will be Heat 2 of 13.5 four-wheel drive.
After 1 minute 31 seconds,
Caution at
the
Karen,
top
caution at
drivers
Karen.
are
Stay
Brian
wide,
Marcroft,
stay wide.
Old
Clear.
Guys Rule, and Josh Cody.
2 minutes on the clock. Caution getting on the straightaway. Caution getting on the straightaway.
2 minutes left. After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Brian Marcroft, Old Guys Rule, and Josh Cody.
Brian silliest round. Eric in the 2, Josh in 3, Emily in the 4, Willie in the 5. Brian looking at the 2 overall right now. Eric moving up to the 6 overall. Just needs to hold on next minute 40.
After 2 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Brian Marcroft, Old Guys Rule, and Josh Cody.
1:20 on the clock. .110, Brian still leading us around. Eric in the 2, Josh in 3, Emily in the 4, Willie in the 5. Fast lap out of Marcroft, 11.582. Fast lap out of Walsick, 11.663.
After 3
1 minute
minutes
on the
2
clock.
seconds, the top drivers are Brian Marcroft, Old Guys Rule, and Josh Cody. .45 seconds left.
.30 seconds on the clock. Caution at
30
the AE
seconds
banner.
left.
Caution at the AE banner.
After 3
Clear.
minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Brian Marcroft, Old Guys Rule, and Josh Cody. .15 seconds left.
10 seconds. Keep going until she calls you done.
Brian Marcroft done. Old Guys Rule done. Josh Cody done. Willie Madden done. All drivers are finished. Emily Weldon
All right,
done.
that's the race. Drop your cars off.
The
Get
race
right
is
back out to
completed.
Marshall. Order's going to go Justin, Dan, Jeff, Mike, Daniel, and Kevin.
Dan Jefferson. Daniel Matz. Justin Hall. Fearless Leader. Jeff Phelps.
All right, just need Mike to go across the line.
Tail Whip.
All right, got checks on everyone. No speed, no speed. Straightaways closed, straightaways closed. Order's going to go Justin, Dan, Jeff, Mike, Daniel, and Kevin. All right. Driver's ready. Marshall's ready. Justin on the tone, less than 5. Dan. Jeff. Mike. Daniel. Kevin. Nice. Where'd you finish?
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Jeff Phelps, and Justin Hall.
.315 on the clock. Jeff Phelps out in the 1, Dan in the 2, Justin in 3, Daniel in the 4, Kevin in the 5, Mike in the 6. Gap between 1 and 2, 0.5 seconds. Between 2 and 3, 0.2 seconds. Between 3 and 4, 0.5 seconds. Between 5 and
After
6,
3 minutes left, top
3
drivers
seconds.
are Jeff Phelps, Dan Jefferson, and Justin Hall.
Everyone fairly evenly gapped out at the moment. Jeff leading us around. Jefferson in the 2, Hall in 3, Matt's in the 4, Nguyen in the 5, Foch in the 6. Up next, we 13.5 short course, heat 1.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Jeff Phelps, Dan Jeppesen, and Justin Hall.
All right, 2:15 on the clock. Phelps still leading us around. Jeppesen in the 2, Hall in the 3, Nguyen in the 4, Mats in the 5, Foch in the 6. Fast lap 11.2 out of Mike. Caution at Chad, caution at Chad.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Jeff Phelps, Dan Jeppesen, and Justin Hall. After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Jeff Phelps, Dan Jeppesen, and Tail Whip.
1:20 on the clock. One minute on the clock. Phelps still leads around. Jeppesen in the 2. Mike now up in the 3. Daniel in the 4. Justin in the 5. Kevin in the 6.
1 minute
Fast
left.
lap 10.9
After 3 minutes,
out of
1
Mike.
second, the top drivers are Jeff Phelps, Dan Jeppesen, and Tail Whip. "45 seconds left. "30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Jeff Phelps, Dan Jeppesen, and Tail Whip.
20 seconds. Phelps still leading us around. Dan in the 2,
15
Mike in the
left.
3, Justin in the 4, Daniel in the 5, Kevin in the 6. 5 seconds. Keep going until she calls you done.
Justin Hall done. Tail Whip done. Jeff Phelps done. Dan Jeppesen done. Daniel Mats done. All drivers are finished. Fearless leader done. The race is completed.
All right, drop your cars off. Get right back out to Marshall. 13.5 short course is up.
Graydon Edwards. Todd Murray. Chris Morrison. Zach Marcinkiewicz. Andrew Tuttle.
All right, I got checks on everyone. No speed, no speed. 1. Yeah. I think so. It should have been. Yeah. All right, order's going to go Chris, Graydon, Andrew, Todd, and Zach. Thanks. All right. If I get a Marshall in the middle, then we good to go. All right, order's going to go Chris, Graydon, Andrew, Todd, and Zach.
All right, Chris on the tone. Graydon. What? Okay, hold on. How can we false start an IFMAR? Okay, so it's going to go Chris, Graydon, Andrew, Todd, and Zach. What's going on? One minute call. You ready? No? All right. So we're going to go, Graydon's going to go on the tone. Tuttle, Todd, and Zach.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Graydon Edwards, Todd Murray, and Zach Marcinkiewicz.
All right, Graydon moving up to 7th overall.
After 1 minute, 3 minutes left, the top drivers are Graydon Edwards, Zach Marcinkiewicz, and Todd Murray.
So we'll be taking 8 into all the mains, and then we'll have B mains for people who didn't make it in.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are
one
Graydon
bump out of the
Edwards,
B.
Zach Marcinkiewicz, and Todd Murray.
Zach on the 1, moving up 2 positions. Now Todd to the 1.
2 minutes After left. 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Todd Murray, Zach Marcinkiewicz, and Graydon Edwards.
Todd's on a 17.411. Chris at a 17.40. So Chris is looking safe right now. 145 left. It's a tough ask that many seconds, but down to a 410 now.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Graydon Edwards, Todd Murray, and Zach Marcinkiewicz.
So Graydon back to the 1. Watch on the straight, watch on the straight. Our leader is the green and blue.
1 minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Graydon Edwards, Todd Murray, and Zach Marcinkiewicz.
So no changes in the overall so far with 50 seconds left.
45 seconds left.
We will have a 3-car B in 4-wheel and a 3-car B in short course, with
30
one making the
seconds
bump.
left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Graydon Edwards, Todd Murray, and Zach Marcinkiewicz. 15 seconds left.
10 seconds.
Graydon Edwards done. Todd Murray done.
Zach and Andrew still
Tuttle
going.
done.
There we go.
All drivers are finished. Zach
All right.
Marcinkiewicz done. The race is completed.
So this next race is just for position in the A main. Get you guys right out to corner marshal.
Chad Kramer, Josh Cody, Lil Puttin, James
Get
Paulson.
Mike and Terry to check in, and we'll be ready to go. Don't walk on the straight. Why are you taking your car back to the pit?
Terry Brown, Tail Whip,
Okay, that's not how we do things. How many times do I have to tell you? Okay, line them up. We need one corner up by me. One more corner up by me. Yeah, you need something? Okay. Okay, here we go. Mike, Alexander, James, Terry, Chad, and Josh. So here we go. Mike on the tone. Alexander, James, Terry, Chad, and Josh.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are James Paulson, Lil Puttin, and Tail Whip. After 1 minute, 3 minutes left, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Lil Puttin, and James Paulson. After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Lil Puttin, and Chad Kramer.
All right, so right now, Chad moving to the 3 overall, Josh to the 4. So Mike on a 19.409, that's a new TQ pace.
The top drivers are Tail Whip, Chad Kramer, and Josh
Josh,
Cody.
stick there, right there with him. He'll pull you along. So Chad in 2, Josh in the 3. Chad now up to the 2 overall. Josh Cody to the 3, knocking Alexander and the rest of the crew down.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Chad Kramer, and Josh Cody.
Oh man, come on guys. You're qualifying. Don't take each other out. The light blue car is in 3rd place right now. I know you guys are all racing, but
1 minute left. After
Oh my
3
God.
minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Chad Kramer, and Josh Cody. "45 seconds left.
so Josh Cody back to the 3 overall. Chad in the 2.
30 seconds left.
Josh, you
After
just
3
need to
minutes,
stay close to
32
Terry and
seconds,
you'll have the 3
the top
overall.
drivers are Tail Whip, Chad Kramer, and Josh Cody.
Whoa! Send it.
15 seconds left.
So Terry Brown and Josh Cody are separated by 0.6. Going to be a little bit more this time with 2 seconds left. Be your last lap now.
James Paulson done. Tail whip done. Terry Brown done. Chad Kramer done. Lil Putten done.
Wow,
All
that
drivers
last
are
lap
finished.
changed a
Josh
lot.
Cody
So
done.
the overall is going to go Mike, Josh, Terry, Chad. Listen to this. Josh Cody, 405.4. Terry, 406.4. Chad, 406.5.
The race is completed.
That's going to be some good racing there.
Daniel Matz. Brian Matz. Dan Jeppesen.
Clean it up.
Roland Nolan.
All right. We already got our corners out there. Zach's back to back, so he'll be coming. Let's get Zach across the line and we'll be ready to go. All right, no more laps, no more speed. Let's let Zach get his lap in. Zach didn't check. There we go.
Zach Marcinkiewicz.
Okay. Do your lap, Zach. You were cornering. All right. It's going to go Daniel, Jeppesen, Mattis, then Brian, Zach, and Nolan. So here we go. Jeppesen on the tone. Daniel, Brian, Zach, and Nolan. Oh, he's got a busted, just tie rods off, I think. Oh, body clip? Oh, okay.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz.
All right, 3 minutes on the clock. Jeppesen on the 1, Daniel on the 2, Zach on 3, Brian on the 4, Nolan 5.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Daniel Matz, and Zach Marcinkiewicz.
No position change at the moment. Caution on the straightaway. Nolan, that's your leader. Please let him by. Thank you.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Daniel Matz, and Zach Marcinkiewicz. After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz.
150 on the clock. No position change at the moment. Caution straightaway. Caution straightaway. Caution straightaway. Stay wide. Stay wide. Stay wide.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz.
$1:15 on the clock.
1 minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz.
Forty-five
45
seconds on the clock.
seconds left. "30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz. "15 seconds left.
Five seconds. Keep going until she calls you done.
Dan Jeppesen done. Brian Matz done. Daniel Matz done. All drivers are finished. Roland Nolan done. The race is completed.
All right, two-wheel drive stock buggies up. Looking for Todd, Chad, Mike, Emily, and Chris.
Emily Weldon. Chad Kramer. Chris Morrison. Todd Powell. Tail whip.
I got checks on everyone. No speed, straightaway is closed. Order's going to go Todd, Chad, Mike, Emily, and Chris. Again, Todd, Chad, Mike, Emily, and Chris. All right. Driver's ready. Marshall's ready. Todd on the tone, less than 5. Chad, Mike, Emily, Chris. Hey, James. Dan, you see if James can go? You see if James can go over there? I couldn't see behind him. All right, after the first 30 seconds, we have Chad on the 1, Mike in the 2, Emily in
After
the 3,
30
Todd in the 4,
seconds,
Chris in the
the
5.
top drivers are Chad Kramer, Tail Whip, and Emily Weldon.
All right, after the
After
first
1
minute, Mike
minutes
on the
left,
1,
top
Chad in the 2,
drivers are
Emily in
Tail
the 3,
Whip,
Todd in the
Chad
4,
Kramer,
Chris in the
and
5.
Emily Weldon.
.245 on the clock. Mike still leads round. Chad in the 2, Emily in the 3, Chris in the 4, Todd in the 5.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Chad Kramer, and Emily Weldon. After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Chad Kramer, and Emily Weldon.
1:45 on the clock. No position change at the moment. Everyone gapped out by over a second.
After 2 minutes 30 seconds, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Chad Kramer, and Emily Weldon.
One minute on the clock. Chad now goes out on the 1, Mike in the 2, Emily in 3, Todd in the 4, Chris in the 5.
1 minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Chad Kramer, Tail Whip, and Emily Weldon. "45 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Chad Kramer, Tail Whip, and Emily Weldon. "15 seconds left.
Five seconds on the clock. Mike now out in the 1. Keep going until she calls you done.
Todd Powell done. Emily Weldon done. Chad Kramer done. Tail Whip done. All drivers are finished. Chris Morrison done. The race is completed.
All right, Stock Buggy Heat 2 is up.
Old guys rule. Brian Matz. Clay Folk. Terry Brown. James Paulson. Dan Jefferson.
All right, I got checks on everyone. No speed, no speed. Order's going to go Dan, Eric, Clay, James, Brian, and Terry. Again, Dan, Eric, Clay, James, Brian, and Terry. Drivers ready. Marshall's ready. Dan on the tone, less than 5. Eric. Clay. James. Brian. Terry. .3:30 on the clock.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Old Guys Rule, and Brian Matz.
So Brian, that is the leader. Please
3
let him by.
minutes left. The top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Old Guys Rule, and James
Thank you.
Paulson.
All right, Eric out in the 1, Dan in the 2, James in the 3, Clay in the 4, Terry in the 5, Brian in the 6. .230 on the clock. Eric's still leading us around. Gap between 1 and 2,
After 1
0.1
minute 30
seconds. Between 2 and
seconds,
3,
the
1.9
top
second
drivers
back.
are Old Guys Rule, Dan Jefferson, and James Paulson.
Up next up, this will be two-wheel drive modified.
After 2 minutes, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Old Guys Rule, and Clay Folk.
.145 on the clock.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Old Guys Rule, and Clay Folk.
.115 on the clock. Jefferson in the 1, Walzik in the 2, Folk in the 3, Paulson in the 4, Brown in the 5, Matz in the 6,
1 minute
11-6,
after 3 minutes
1-2,
1
fast
second.
lap out
The
of
top drivers
Jefferson.
are Dan Jefferson, Old Guys Rule,
55 seconds
and
on the
Clay
clock.
Folk. 45 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Old Guys Rule, and Clay Folk. "15 seconds left.
1:10 on the clock.
Dan Jefferson done. Old Guys Rule done. Clay Folk done. James Paulson done. Brian Matz done. All drivers are finished. Terry Brown done.
All right, that's a race.
race is
Drop your cars
completed.
off. Get right back out to Marshall. Two-wheel drive modified is up. Order's going to go Robert, Brad, Roger, Justin, and Kevin.
Robert Bacozzi. Brad Borneo. Roger Same. Justin Hall. Fearless Leader.
All right, I got checks on everyone. No speed, straightaway is closed. Order's going to go Bacozzi, Borneal, Syme, Hall, and Foch. Still need, I think, no, we'll be good. All right, driver's ready. Marshall's ready. Bacozzi on the tone, less than 5. Brad, Roger, Justin, Kevin.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Roger Same, and Brad Borneal.
Caution straightaway, caution straightaway. Stay inside, clear. 3 minutes on the clock. Brad out in the 1, Roger in the 2, Kevin in 3, Robert in the 4, Justin in the 5. Gap between 1 and 2.012.
After 1
between
minute left, the top drivers
Caution
are
at
Brad
Chad,
Borneal,
clear.
Roger Same, and Fearless Leader.
Gap between 2 and 3, 1.7. Between 3 and 4.5. And gap now up to 4 seconds between 3 and 4.
After 1 minute 30 seconds,
2:30
the
on the
top
clock.
drivers are Brad Borneal, Roger Same, and Fearless Leader.
Two minutes on the clock.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Brad Borneal, Roger Same, and Fearless Leader.
1:50 on the clock. Borneal out in the 1. Simon the 2. Foshin 3. Caution straightaway. Caution straightaway. Caution at Chad. Clear. All clear. All clear. $1:35 on the clock. $1:30.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Brad Borneal, Roger Same, and Fearless Leader.
Caution at Chad. Caution on the straightaway. There we go. All clear. 1 minute on the clock.
1 minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Brad Borneal, Roger Same, and Fearless Leader.
$45 seconds on the clock. No position change at the moment.
45 seconds left.
Everyone gapped out about a second or so.
$30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Brad Borneal, Roger Same, and Fearless Leader.
$15 seconds on the clock.
15 seconds left. Robert Bacozzi done.
Keep going until she calls you done.
Fearless Leader done. Brad Borneal done. Roger Same done.
All right,
All
that's the race.
drivers are
Drop your cars
finished.
off.
Justin Hall done. The race is completed.
get going here in a minute, though. Yeah, that's fine. All right, we'll start at 8:40. 8:40 with Sportsman. There's two of you. Actually, I should just put all of you in the main. No? Run a 2-car B. You guys want to run 2-car B? 2-car B with one bump. We'll do 8 plus 1. It's be Eric and Nolan. There'll be 3 in the 13.5 buggy, 4 or 3 in short course because I think Joe left, and 3 in 17.5. So one of you will make the bump out of those, and we'll go in the A main. So 5-minute call. 5-minute call.
All right, Sportsman B main is going to be up, so let's get 2 mod drivers out of the track to Marshall. We're just looking for Eric and Nolan. All right, let's go ahead and get drivers checked in.
Eric Rosen.
If I've done it for everyone else, I can do it for you too. You're not special. Oh, a lot of people resisted. They all break down eventually. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Nolan, go across the line.
Roland Nolan.
All right, so let's get him lined up on the straightaway. It's just the two of them. There you are, Eric. Okay. All right. Drivers ready. Marshall's ready on the tone. Less than 5.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Roland Nolan, Eric Rosen.
Says A-Man and Sportsman's up next. He should be up next.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Eric Rosen, Roland Nolan.
Caution on sweeper, caution on sweeper. Kevin, are we doing the A sort of short or of sportsman next? Or?
After 1 minute
okay.
31 seconds, the top drivers are Eric Rosen, Roland
Never
Nolan.
mind. Sportsman's not up next. I don't know why it's showing me one thing. Okay. All right, 2:20 on the clock.
Two minutes left. After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Eric Rosen, Roland Nolan. After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Eric Rosen, Roland Nolan.
1:25 on the clock.
One minute left. After 3 minutes 2 seconds, the top drivers are Eric Rosen, Roland Nolan.
Caution straightaway, caution straightaway. Clear.
"45 seconds left. 30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Eric Rosen, Roland Nolan. 15 seconds left. Eric Rosen done. All drivers are finished. Roland Nolan done. The race is completed.
All right, 13.5 four-wheel drive is up. Probably gonna need a few volunteers for this next one, as there's only 2 in the last round, so 3 volunteers, please.
Willie Madden. Emily Weldon. Josh Cody.
All right, got checks on everyone. Let's get them lined up on the straightaway. All right. Drivers ready. Marshall's ready. On the tone, less than 5. Incredible overtake there out of Willie. I know that was absolutely planned. Just pure skill. Never seen driving like that before. 3:30 on the clock.
After
Got
30
Willie
seconds,
on the 1, Emily on
the
the 2,
top
Josh
drivers
on
are
the 3.
Willie Madden, Emily Weldon, and Josh Cody.
Willie strategically letting Emily by. Well thought out. He's playing chess, not checkers out here.
After 1 minute, 3 minutes left, the top drivers are Josh Cody, Emily Weldon, and Willie Madden.
All right, 2:50 on the clock. See, like I said, he was thinking three laps ahead. Willie had it all calculated.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Willie Madden, Josh Cody, and Emily Weldon.
What's up? No. I mean, he knows how to run the till. Is he supposed to run the till? No. Kevin's in the back. You want to yell at him? Are you paying card or cash? No. Other than just saying I got you.
After 2 minutes, the top drivers are Willie Madden, Emily Weldon, and Josh Cody. After 2 minutes 30 seconds, the top drivers are Willie Madden, Josh Cody, and Emily Weldon.
Alright, 1 minute on the clock. Willie out on the 1, Josh on the 2, Emily on the 3.
1 minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Willie Madden, Josh Cody, and Emily Weldon. 45 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Willie Madden, Josh Cody, and Emily Weldon. 15 seconds left. Josh Cody done. Willie Madden done. All drivers are finished. Emily Weldon done. The race is completed.
(13.5) short course B main is up. Looking for Todd, Zach, Andrew, and yeah, just those three. Roger left. Yeah, that's fine. As good as.
Todd Murray.
Willie, I was rooting for you. I had so much commentary. I was really hoping you won because I had a lot of commentary for you. All right.
Todd Murray.
Was it? Yeah, I know. It looked intentional. All right, let's get Zach checked in here.
Zach Marson.
There we go. All right, let's get him lined up on the straightaway. Order's going to go Todd, Zach, and Andrew. Again, Todd, Zach, and Andrew. All right. Todd, you're in the one. All right, drivers ready, marshals ready, on the tone, less than 5. Here we go.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Todd Murray, Andrew Tuttle, and Zach Marcinkiewicz.
Todd hanging on for dear life.
After 1
Down
minute
the
left,
straightaway.
top drivers are Todd Murray, Andrew
Tangles up,
Tuttle, and
keeps
Zach
going.
Marcinkiewicz.
It is still very much anyone's race here. That
After
is
1 minute
a
30 seconds, the top
way to go down
drivers
the
are Todd
straightaway.
Murray, Andrew Tuttle, and
Certainly
Zach
an option.
Marcinkiewicz.
Keep going, keep going. There you go. Andrew, we'll do something about that setup. I don't know what the heck is going on with that car.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Todd
Caution on
Murray,
the
Zach
sweeper, caution on the
Marcinkiewicz,
sweeper.
and Andrew Tuttle.
1:45 on the clock. It is not over yet. Todd utilizing the entirety of the track facility, walls included.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Todd Murray, Andrew Tuttle, and Zach Marcinkiewicz.
Caution straightaway, caution straightaway. 1 minute on the clock.
One minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Todd Murray, Andrew Tuttle, and Zach Marcinkiewicz. "45 seconds left.
Todd's got to hold together for 35 seconds.
"30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Todd Murray, Andrew Tuttle, and Zach Marcinkiewicz. "15 seconds left.
10 seconds. Todd in the 1, Andrew in the 2, Zach in the 3.
Todd Murray done. Zach Marcinkiewicz done.
Todd trying to
All
take himself
drivers
out of
are
competition
finished.
before the next round.
Andrew Tuttle done. The race is completed.
Alright, two-wheel drive stock buggies up for Todd, Emily, and Chris. Dude, Chad was giving me shit, like hitting my car, so I just got in front of him and slowed down. I knew I was behind him, but I just slowed down. He got so fucking pissed. Alright, let's go ahead and get drivers checked in. Andrew, it's like you didn't want it. You'd get up and then you'd be like, you know what, Todd, go for it. You have it.
Chris Morrison. Todd Powell. Emily Weldon.
Alright, got checks on. Everyone's getting lined up. It's going to go Todd, Emily, and Chris. Again, Todd, Emily, and Chris. Driver's ready. Marshall's ready. On the tone, less than 5. Chris, I'm going to give you a stop and go on that. Thank you.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Emily Weldon, Todd Powell, and Chris Morrison.
Still 3 minutes 20 on the clock. Plenty of time. Todd goes through. Todd out in the 1 now.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Todd Powell, Emily Weldon, and Chris Morrison.
No. No. Todd on the one,
After
Emily
1
2,
minute
Chris
30
in 3.
seconds, the top drivers are Todd Powell, Emily Weldon, and Chris Morrison.
Up next will be 17.5 Sportsman.
After 2 minutes, the top drivers are Todd Powell, Emily Weldon, and Chris Morrison.
.135 on the clock.
After 2 minutes 30 seconds, the top drivers are Todd Powell, Emily Weldon, and Chris
125
Morrison.
on the clock.
One minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Todd Powell, Emily Weldon, and Chris Morrison. .45 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Todd Powell, Emily Weldon, and Chris Morrison. .15 seconds left.
All right, 5 seconds.
Todd Powell done. All drivers are finished. Emily Weldon done. The race is completed.
All right, 17.5 Sportsman A1. Gonna need a few volunteer marshals for this one.
Graydon Edwards. Scooter Wingard. Scott Hafner.
Willie, you need an Orca livery. Run full Orca electronics.
Brent Edwards.
I'm sure you haven't heard that one before.
Woody Arthur. Yoder.
All right, gonna need a few marshals out to the track, please. If I get some volunteers, Again, if I could get some volunteers out to the track, that would be wonderful. Still need Todd, Willie, and Eric to go across the line. Again, Todd, Willie, and Eric across the line, please.
Willie Madden.
Nice and slow, be careful. Don't hit anyone else's cars. Alright, Todd and Eric. Eric across the line. Eric, you have to go all the way down. Eric, all the way down across the line, please.
Eric Rosen.
There we go.
Todd Murray.
There we go. Alright. Order is Graydon, Scooter, Scott, Brent, Todd, Matt, Willie, Woody, and Eric. Let's keep it nice and clean. Todd, you mind helping them with position? Thank you. I think it starts at Todd and goes back, so Matt, yeah, in the 2. Willie after Matt. So in the middle there, Yep, perfect. Awesome, thank you. All right. I still need one more marshal in the middle, please. If I get one more volunteer marshal to the middle. Someone, anyone. Marshal to the middle. Thank you, Josh. Much appreciated. Everyone needs to be more like Josh. There we go. All right. Drivers ready. Marshals ready. On the tone in less than 5. Here we go. Actually, a pretty good start. I'm impressed, guys. Good job.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Graydon Edwards, Scott Hafner, and Brent Edwards.
Caution on the back sweeper. Caution on the back sweeper. Clear. All right. All right, after the first minute here, Gray now in the 1, Scooter in the 2, Scott in the 3, Brent in the 4, Matt in the 5, Eric in the 6,
After
Woody
1
in the 7,
minute
Willie in the 8,
left,
Todd
top
in the 9.
drivers are Graydon Edwards, Scooter Wingerd, and Scott Hafner.
So Eric in the 5 now.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers
Green
are
in the
Graydon
1, Scott in the
Edwards,
2,
Scott
Brent in the 3,
Hafner,
Matt in
and
the 4,
Brent
Eric in the
Edwards.
5, Woody in the 6, Willie in the 7, Todd in the 8. Looks like Scooter tapped out. Didn't see what happened there. Deep breaths, blink and breathe. Woody, that's your leader. Please let him
2
by.
minutes left. The top drivers are Graydon Edwards, Scott Hafner, and Brent Edwards.
Caution getting on the straight. Clear. All right, Woody, I believe you have the 2 car coming up on you. Please let him by.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top
Thank you.
drivers are Graydon Edwards, Scott Hafner, and Brent Edwards.
All right, Matt, you will have the leader coming up on you next. 1 minute on the clock.
1 minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Graydon Edwards, Scott Hafner,
So
and
orange,
Brent
blue,
Edwards.
and yellow car is your leader. If he comes up behind you, please let him by. So Matt, the leader, is up on you right now. Thank you.
45 seconds
All
left.
right, Woody, you'll have the leader up on you again here in a sec. Caution straightaway, caution straightaway. Stay wide, stay wide, stay wide. Clear.
30 seconds
After
left.
3
minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Graydon Edwards, Scott Hafner, and Yoder.
Matt now up in 3. Brent goes into the 3. Matt down to the 4. Todd in the 5. Willie in the 6. Eric in the 7. Woody in the 8.
15 seconds left.
Caution getting on the straightaway. Clear.
Willie Madden done. Todd Murray done. Brent Edwards done. Yoder
Caution
done.
straightaway, caution straightaway.
Eric
Stay wide,
Rosen
stay
done.
wide, stay wide, stay wide.
Woody Arthur done. Scott Hafner done.
Clear.
All drivers are
All
finished.
right, that's a race. Drop
Graydon
your cars
Edwards
off. Get
done.
right back out to Marshall.
The race is completed.
13.5 four-wheel drives up. Andrew, is my truck ready? Do you need scissors, Kevin? Okay.
Dan Jefferson, Justin Hall, Jeff Phelps, Tail Whip, Old Guys Rule, Fearless Leader, Daniel Matz, Brian Marcroft.
All right, I got checks. Oh. I'd say go torque eater if you need to pull the rear end down, but all right, let's get him lined up on the straightaway here. It's gonna go Jeff, Justin, Dan, Mike, Brian, Eric, Daniel, and Kevin, and then Josh. Give Josh a chance here to get across the line. Try
Josh
again.
Cody.
Oh, there we go. All right. Again, order's going to go Jeff, Justin, Dan, Mike, Brian, Eric, Daniel, Kevin, and Josh. I need a marshal in the middle. If I can get one more marshal in the middle, then we'll be good to go. Oh, you got it. Oh, sorry, I couldn't see you behind the pole. All right, drivers ready, marshals ready, on the tone, less than 5.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Jeff Phelps, Justin Hall, and Dan Jefferson.
All right, after the first minute, we have Jeff out in the 1, Justin in the 2, Dan in 3, Mike in the 4, Brian in the 5, Eric in the 6, Daniel in the 7, Kevin in the 8, Josh in the 9. Looks like we're all approximately the same starting order.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Jeff Phelps, Justin Hall, and Dan Jefferson.
All right, 2:45 on the clock. Again, Jeff still leading us around. Justin in the 2, Mike in 3, Daniel in the 4, Brian in the 5, Eric in the 6, Daniel in the 7, Kevin in the 8, Josh in the 9. Gap between 1 and 2 is 0.1 second. Caution at Chad, caution at Chad, clear.
The top drivers are Jeff Phelps, Justin Hall, and Tail Whip.
You or me? Mm.
2 minutes left. After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Jeff Phelps, Justin Hall, and Tail Whip.
You drove really well, though. You drove well, though. Especially because your car is almost impossible to drive. Yeah. 1:45 on the clock. Phelps leading us around. Hall in 2, Nguyen in the 3, Marcroft in the 4, Jefferson in the 5, Welzick in the 6, Matz in the 7, Foch in the 8, and Cody in the 9. Fast lap 11.390 out of Nguyen. 1:35 on the clock.
After 2 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Jeff Phelps, Justin Hall, and Tail Whip.
Yeah. 1 minute on the clock.
1 minute
Caution
left.
at Chad, caution at
After
Chad.
3 minutes 2 seconds, the top drivers are Jeff Phelps, Justin Hall, and Tail Whip.
There you go. Okay. Yep. All right, 50 seconds on the clock. Again, everyone spaced out about the same. No real position changes going on.
45 seconds left. "30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Jeff Phelps, Justin Hall, and Tail Whip. "15 seconds left.
Eight seconds on the clock. Keep going until she calls you done.
Brian Marcroft done. Dan
Track is
Jefferson
still
done.
alive, track is still alive. Keep going.
Old Guys Rule done. Daniel Matz done. Fearless Leader done. Jeff Phelps done. Justin Hall done. Tail Whip done. All drivers are finished. Josh Cody done. The race is completed.
All right, let's get corner marshals out here. There's one. Hall, get off the straightaway.
Graydon Edwards.
Hey, Hall. There we go. We
Chad
need
Kramer.
One of you we
Josh
need down
Cody.
here at this
Tail Whip.
opening down here.
Terry Brown. Chris Morrison. Lil Putton. James Paulson.
I don't think we need two corner marshals down there, Jeff. We need somebody up here. What do you guys? The opening down there. Hey, Todd, are you going to check it in? You made the bump, didn't you? Everybody's waiting. Let's go. Graydon got the bump? Oh, never mind. It says Todd here. Okay. Okay, so it goes Mike, Josh, Terry, Chad, Alexander, James, Chris, Graydon. You get the next one. Here we go. On the tone in less than 5. Easy does it, easy. All right. Josh Cody's getting this short course stuff figured out here.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Josh Cody, and Chad Kramer.
Stadium truck is up next.
After 1 minute, 3 minutes left, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Josh Cody, and Chad Kramer.
So it's Mike, Josh, Chad, Terry, Alexander, Chris, James, and Graydon. Now Graydon and James. So Josh is hanging around. Watch out by Chad.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Josh Cody, and Chad Kramer.
Fast lap of 12.4 out of Mike, 12.7 out of Josh. Everybody else in the 13s. Oh, man. So Cody has the pace. So
After
now
2
Mike's
laps,
got to make it
the top
through some
drivers are
traffic
Tail Whip,
here.
Josh
So
Cody,
the blue
and Chad
car with
Kramer.
both white wheels is your leader. He's, I think that's Terry Brown he's by. So Josh and Chad, that's the closest battle on the track. Sweeper, 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 sweeper. That's our leader, so that's going to put Josh
After 2
Cody into
minutes
the
31
one.
seconds, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Josh Cody, and Chad Kramer.
Mike Wynn in the 2. Got 1:15 left. Oh boy. 1 and 2 across the little table. Past Chad they go. Through the hip. Big table. Oh no, Cody gets it wrong. That puts Mike back to lead. He's right there though. Meanwhile, Chad Kramer's coming through.
1
He's
minute
not that
left.
far behind.
After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Tail Whip,
Alexander
Josh
in the
Cody,
4.
and Chad Kramer.
Come on, Cody. You got 45 seconds left. Make it happen. You're right there.
45 seconds left.
Ooh, that was nice through that
After 3
section.
minutes,
Then he goes
32
over the pipe.
seconds, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Josh Cody, and Chad Kramer.
Daddy's the leader. Thank you.
15 seconds left.
Graydon, that's second place. Now we got a battle for second between Chad and Josh. It's their last lap. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Mike
Chris
gets the
Morrison
extra
done.
lap.
James Paulson done.
James is done.
Josh Cody done.
Josh Cody takes the
Chad
2 and
Kramer
Chad
done.
takes the 3.
Graydon Edwards done. Lil Putton done. Terry Brown done.
Mike gets the 19th
All
lap,
drivers are finished.
19.412.
Tail Whip done. The race is completed.
Good race, guys. Alexander gets the 4. Should not be going back to your pits.
All right, 13-5 Stadium Truck is up. Looking for Daniel,
Jefferson.
Brian, Zach, and Nolan.
Brian Matz. Roland Nolan. Zach Marcinkiewicz. Daniel Matz.
Caution at Karen, caution sweeper, caution sweeper. Caution sweeper, caution sweeper. Got checks on everyone. No speed, no speed. Straightaways closed, straightaways closed. All right, again, order is Daniel, Brian, Zach, and Nolan. All right, driver's ready, marshal's ready, on the ton, less than 5. Here we go.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Daniel Matz, Dan Jeppesen, and Brian Matz.
All right, Daniel out in the 1, Dan in the 2, Brian in the 3, Zach in the 4, Nolan in the 5. Caution on the back wall ride, or A jump, clear. 3 minutes on the clock, caution after Karen,
3
caution
ones
after
left.
Karen.
The top drivers are Daniel Matz, Dan Jeppesen, and Brian Matz. After 1 minute 31 seconds, the top drivers are Daniel Matz, Dan Jeppesen, and Brian Matz. After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz.
Close battle right now between Dan and Daniel. Really the only battle going on at the moment.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz. One minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan
55
Jeppesen, Daniel
seconds.
Matz, and Brian Matz. "45 seconds left. "30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jeppesen, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz.
20 seconds.
15 seconds left. Zach Marcinkiewicz done. Dan Jeppesen done. Roland Nolan done. Daniel Matz done. All drivers are finished. Brian Matz done. The race is completed.
All right, two-wheel drive stock buggy A1 is up. Gonna need volunteer marshals for this next round. All right, order is Dan, Eric, Clay, Mike, James, Chad, Terry, Brian, and Todd. Let's go ahead and get drivers checked in.
Old Guys Rule. Clay Folk. Brian Matz. James Paulson. Tail Whip. Terry Brown. Todd Powell. Chad Kramer.
I just need Jeppesen to check in.
Dan Jeppesen.
All right, order's going to go Dan, Eric, Clay, Mike, James, Chad, Terry, Brian, and Todd. Let's get them lined up on the straightaway. All right. It's going to go Dan, Eric, Clay, Mike, James, Chad, Terry, Brian, and Todd. All right, drivers ready, marshals ready. On the tone, less than 5.
After 30 seconds,
Caution at Karen,
the top
caution at
drivers
Karen,
are Old
stay
Guys
inside
Rule,
clear.
Tail Whip, and Dan Jeppesen.
All right, Eric out in the 1, Mike in the 2, Clay in the 3, Chad in the 4, Terry in the 5, Dan in the 6, Todd in the 7, Brian in the 8, James in the 9. 3 minutes on the clock.
After 1 minute,
Caution at
left,
Karen,
top
clear.
drivers are Old Guys Rule, Tail Whip, and Clay Folk.
So it looks like Eric's still leading us around, Mike in the 2, Clay in the 3. Todd and Brian battling it out in the middle of the pack.
After 1 minute,
Dan
30
looking to
seconds,
come through that
the
battle.
top drivers are Old Guys Rule, Tail Whip, and Clay Folk.
We got Terry and Paulson battling it out in the back of the grid.
After 2 minutes, the top drivers are Old Guys Rule, Tail Whip, and Clay Folk.
150 on the clock. Eric out, still leading us around. Caution at Chad, caution at Chad. Clear. James, you're going to have Chad coming through on you. When he gets up to you, please let him by.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Old Guys Rule, Clay Folk, and Tail Whip.
Thank you. Caution straight away, clear.
One minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Old Guys Rule, Clay Folk, and Chad Kramer. "45 seconds left.
35 seconds on the clock.
"30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Old Guys Rule, Clay Folk, and Chad Kramer. "15 seconds left.
Caution straightaway, caution straightaway. Stay inside, stay inside, stay inside, stay inside. Stay inside, stay inside, stay
Tom
inside.
Powell done. James
Continued
Paulson
caution.
done. Tail Whip done.
Clear.
Brian Matz done. Old Guys Rule done. Dan Jefferson done. Clay Folk done. Terry Brown done. All drivers are finished. Chad Kramer done. The race is completed.
All right, 2 mod.
Robert Bacozzi. Brad Borneal. Justin Hall. Fearless Leader. Roger Same.
I got checks on everyone. No speed, no speed. Straightaways closed. All right, order's gonna go Robert, Roger, Brad, Kevin, and Justin. Again, Robert, Roger, Brad, Kevin, and Justin. Drivers ready. Marshall's ready on the tone, less than 5.
After 30 seconds, the top
Caution
drivers
in
are
the
Robert
straight, clear.
Bacozzi, Roger Same, and Brad Borneal.
All right, 3:10 on the clock. Robert Silius around Brad in the 2, Kevin in 3, Roger in the 4, Justin in the 5.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Brad Borneal, and Fearless Leader.
.245 on the clock. Caution straightaway, caution straightaway. Stay wide, clear. 2:35 on the clock. Robert on the 1, Brad on the 2, Kevin in 3, Roger in the 4, Justin in the 5.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Brad Borneal, and Fearless Leader.
Two minutes on the clock.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Brad Borneal, and Fearless Leader. After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Brad Borneal, and Roger same.
Caution on the back jump, caution on the back jump. Clear. 1:15 on the clock.
One minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Brad Borneal, and Fearless Leader.
45 seconds.
45 seconds left.
Caution at Karen. Caution straight away. Caution straight away. Clear.
30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Brad Borneal, and Fearless Leader. "15 seconds left. Roger same done. Robert Bacozzi done. Justin Hall done. Fearless Leader done. All drivers are finished. Brad Borneal done. The race is completed.
All right, 17.5 Sportsman A2 is up, looking for Graydon, Scooter, Scott, Brent, Todd, Matt, Willie, Woody, and Eric. Stock buggy out to the track. Sportsman stock buggy.
Todd Murray.
Okay. Then, yeah. I'm up after you. All right, let's go ahead and get drivers checked in. Marshall's out of the track.
Scott Hafner. Graydon Edwards. Brent Edwards. Willie Madden. Yoder.
Just need
Woody
Woody and
Arthur.
Eric to get checked in here.
Eric Rosen.
All right, no speed, straightaways close. Order's going to go Graydon, Scott, Brent, Todd, Matt, Willie, Woody, and Eric. Again, Graydon, Scott, Brent, Todd, Matt, Willie, Woody, and Eric. All right, drivers ready. Marshall's ready on the tone, less than 5.
After 30 seconds, the top
Caution
drivers
at
are
the A
Graydon
banner,
Edwards,
caution at
Todd
the A
Murray,
banner.
and Woody Arthur.
Continued caution, clear. That would have been fun.
After 1 minute, 3 minutes left, the top drivers are Graydon Edwards, Yoder,
All right, Graydon
and
on the
Woody
1, Matt
Arthur.
on the 2, Woody in 3, Brent in 4, Eric in 5, Willie in 6, Scott in 7, Todd in the 8.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Graydon Edwards, Yoder, and
2:25 on the clock. Everyone's spaced out by over a second now. Andrew, am I ready to go? $1:55 on the clock. Four wheel and then short course. Okay. $1:10 on the clock. Caution at before Chad. Caution before Chad. Clear. $50 seconds on the clock. Graydon, Eric, Matt, Brent, Woody, Scott, Willie, and Todd. Gap between 1 and 2 is 15 seconds. Everyone's still spaced out by quite a few seconds here. Everyone's still pretty spaced out. Graydon is done. All right, that's the race. Everyone's done. Everyone's done. $13.5 four wheels up. Looking forward, Jeff, Justin, Dan, Mike, Brian, Eric, Daniel, Kevin, and Josh. I know I didn't. I don't know. I can't. I didn't hear anything. No. Test tone. There you go.
Old Guys Rule. Justin Hall. Tail Whip. Dan Jefferson. Jeff Phelps. Brian Marcroft. Daniel Matz. Fearless Leader. Josh Cody.
All right, I got checks on everyone. No speed, no speed. Straightaways close, straightaways close. Order's going to go Jeff, Justin, Dan, Mike, Brian, Eric, Daniel, Kevin, and Josh. All right, drivers ready, marshals ready. On the tone, less than 5. Caution getting on the chat, clear. So Jeff out in the 1, Dan in the 2, Brian in the 3, Eric in the 4. It's like Daniel in the 6, Justin in the 7.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Jeff Phelps, Dan Jefferson, and Old Guys Rule.
.3:15 on the clock. Jeff Sillius round. Dan in the 2. Eric in the 3. Brian in the 4. Daniel in the 5. Justin in the 6. Mike in the 7. Kevin in the 8. Josh in the 9. Gap between 1 and 2, 1.5 seconds. Gap between 2 and 3, 2 seconds. Between 3 and 4.5 seconds. Caution straightaway. Caution straightaway.
After
Clear.
3 minutes left, the top drivers are Jeff Phelps, Dan Jefferson, and Brian Marcroft.
So let's go ahead. Dan out in the 1. Brian in the 2. Jeff in the 3. Daniel in the 4. Caution around. Karen clear. Everyone right there. No real decided winners out here. Dan looking to make a gap. Brian and Jeff battling the 2 and 3 spot. Daniel's got a whole row of guys behind him. He's got to stay consistent.
After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Brian Marcroft, and Jeff Phelps.
Caution to Chad. Caution after Chad. Daniel goes up to the 2 now.
After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Daniel Matz, and Justin Hall.
Dan's got a 4-second lead. Caution straightaway. Caution straightaway. All clear. Oh boy. 1:40 on the clock. Fast footwork there out of Scott.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Daniel Matz, and Jeff Phelps.
.110 on the clock.
One minute left. After 3 minutes 2 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Daniel Matz, and Brian Marcroft.
50 seconds on the clock.
.45 seconds left. .30 seconds
30 seconds
left.
on the clock.
After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Daniel Matz, and Brian Marcroft. .15 seconds left.
Last lap.
Justin Hall done. Dan Jefferson done. Daniel Matz done. Jeff Phelps done. Brian Marcroft done. Tail whip done. Fearless leader done. All drivers are finished. Josh Cody done. The race is completed. Todd Murray.
Okay, dokie, everybody get them checked in. Let's get our quarter marshals out
Chad
there.
Kramer. Chris Morrison.
Just a few more races
Putnam.
and photos, and we will be shutting it down. So
James Paulson.
we will be closing after the races tonight. We no longer
Josh
stay open
Cody.
until midnight since the drifters aren't here. You can owe all you want. You can owe all you want, but
Tail whip.
we're not staying home until midnight for 5 people. If you want to pay Alexander to stay, that's up to you, but I'm not. I just need Terry and Graydon to check in. Nothing's funnier than
Graydon Edwards.
RC races are hilarious that way. They can be here for 12 hours and be like, "What? I don't get another hour?" It's always been like that. Mike, Josh, Terry once he checks in. There goes Chad, Alexander, James, Chris, Graydon, and Todd. Go across the line, Terry. And you're in the 3.
Terry Brown.
All right, here we go. Drivers ready. On the tone, less than 5.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Josh Cody, and Terry
Whoa,
Brown.
whoa, Terry Brown, you got to give that position back. All right. Thank you. So Mike and Josh out front again. Clean it up. Thank you, Graydon.
After 1 minute, 3 minutes left, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Josh Cody, and Chad Kramer. After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Josh Cody, and Chad Kramer.
All righty, Josh Cody out in the 1. Woo-hoo-hoo. So Terry Brown, you'll have the leader on you next. First and second coming up. Oh my God.
2 minutes After left. 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Josh Cody, Tail Whip, and Chad Kramer.
So now that's Mike, Chad, and Josh.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Chad Kramer, and Josh Cody.
Watch out on the sweeper, 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 sweeper. Stay inside on the sweeper. All right, so right now it's Mike, Chad, Josh, Alexander, Chris, James, Terry, Graydon, and Todd.
1 minute left. After 3 minutes 2 seconds, the top drivers are Tail Whip, Chad Kramer, and Josh Cody.
Thank you, Paulson.
"45 seconds left.
So we got a great battle for second place with 30 seconds left between
30 seconds
Josh
left.
and Chad.
After 3 minutes 32 seconds.
Right now,
the top
Chad will be
drivers
2
are Joe
overall.
Webb, Chad
Oh no,
Kramer,
second,
and
third
Josh
place
Cody.
drops off.
15 seconds left.
So Chad just has to keep up the pace. He's on a 404. Cody on a 405.
James Paulson done.
See what happens
Tailwind
here.
done.
Ooh.
Terry Brown done. Chad
You got
Kramer
it.
done. Todd Murray done.
So overall, it's going to
Chris
go
Morrison
Mike,
done.
Chad, and Josh.
Josh Cody done. Lil Puttin done. All drivers are finished. Graydon Edwards done. The race is completed.
We'll take podiums at the end. Top 3. All right, stadium trucks next up. I think you just need all new diff gears. Yeah, my guess.
Dan Jefferson. Brian Matz.
All right, let's get Daniel checked in, Zach checked in, and Nolan. Is Nolan still here or did he go home? I think he left. All right, let's go ahead and get drivers checked in. I need Daniel across the line. I need Zach across the line.
Daniel Matz.
Zach, are you out? Okay. All right. We got checks on everyone. Let's get them lined up on the straightaway. All right. Again, Dan, Daniel, and Brian. Drivers ready. Marshall's ready. On the tone. Here we go.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz. After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz.
.235 on the clock. Dan on the 1, Daniel on 2, Brian in 3. Fast lap 11.81
After 1 minute
out of
30 seconds,
Jefferson.
the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz.
Dan a lap up on the grid right now.
2 minutes left. After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz.
Caution on the sweeper, clear.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz. One minute left. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz.
45 seconds on the clock.
45 seconds left.
Dan might be able to lap the grid here. We'll see. He's got 40 seconds.
"30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Daniel Matz, and Brian Matz. "15 seconds left. Brian Matz done. Daniel Matz done. All drivers are finished. Dan Jefferson done. The race is completed. Chad
All right,
Kramer,
if we get some marshals out of the
James
track,
Paulson,
please. Marshals out of the track.
Clay Folk,
This is second to
Terry
last
Brown.
round. I know there's not a lot of you left, but if we get some volunteers out here, that'd be great.
Todd Powell, Tail Whip,
Anybody will take anyone.
Dan Jefferson. Old Guys Rule. Brian Matz.
I have 2 marshals so far. I need like 3 or 4 more. If you're not doing anything, if you could come out to the track, thank you. Order's going to go Dan, Eric, Clay, Mike, James, Chad, Terry, Brian, and Todd. All right, just need one more marshal down at the end of the driver's stand. Thank you. All right, again, Dan, Eric, Clay, Mike, James, Chad, Terry, Brian, and Todd. All right, drivers ready. Marshals ready. On the tone, less than 5. Caution up at Karen, caution up at Karen. Caution getting on the straightaway. Caution getting on the straightaway. Continue caution. Continue caution. Continue caution. Clear. You all right, Willie? Okay.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Old Guys Rule, Dan Jefferson, and Tail Whip.
.320 on the clock. Eric Silly in the round. Dan the 2. Mike in 3. Terry in the 4. John in the 5. Clay in the 6. James in the 7. Todd in the 8. Brian in the 9.
After 1 minute, 3 minutes left, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Tail Whip, and Terry Brown. After 1 minute 30 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Tail Whip, and Old Guys Rule.
Battle to watch right now between Chad and Clay.
Two minutes left. After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Tail Whip, and Old Guys Rule.
Caution getting on the straight. Caution getting on the straight. Clear. 1:30 on the clock.
After 2 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Tail Whip, and Terry Brown.
All right, Dan in the 1, Mike in the 2, Terry in the 3, Chad in the 4, Eric in the 5, Clay in the 6, Todd in the 7, James in the
1
8.
minute
Looks like
left. After 3
Brian
minutes
taps
1
out.
second, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Tail Whip, and Terry Brown. "45 seconds left.
"30 seconds.
30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 31 seconds, the top drivers are Dan Jefferson, Tail Whip, and Terry Brown. "15 seconds left. Clay Folk done. Chad Kramer done. Terry Brown done. Dan Jefferson done. Todd Powell done. James Paulson done. All drivers are finished.
All right, that's a race.
Tail Whip done. Old Guys Rule done. The race is completed.
Last race of the night, 2-wheel drive modified. My short course just is, I need to put a whole new transmission in idler, diff, just go through the whole, yeah. Because it's just, I couldn't keep pace. And I need to rebuild my shocks and everything, it just was really struggling. Like the car, I mean, comparatively to most of those cars, it's still fast. It's very fast, but it's not.
Robert Bacozzi, Brad Borneal,
All right, let's go ahead and get checked in. Drivers out to the
Roger
or drivers
Singh.
out to the stand. Marshals out to the track.
Justin Hall, Fearless Leader,
All right, I got checks on everyone. No speed, no speed. Straightaways closed. Need one more marshal in the middle. One more marshal in the middle. I think I have someone down the other end. Thank you, Eric. Order's going to go Robert, Roger, Brad, Kevin, and Justin. Again, Robert, Roger, Brad, Kevin, and Justin. Get a couple warm-up launches in there, Justin. Make sure you got it dialed. All right. Drivers ready. Marshals ready on the tone, less than 5. What? Driving. He has a new body right now. But it's the wrong colors. It does. Yeah. I don't think Kevin was super stoked about these two.
After 30 seconds, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Roger Same, and Brad Borneal. After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Roger Same,
All right, everyone's
and Brad
spaced out by
Borneal.
a couple seconds here. Roger and Brad, I guess, the only battle right now.
After 1 minute 31 seconds, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Roger Same, and Brad Borneal.
2:20 on the clock. Caution after Karen, caution after Karen. Clear.
Two minutes left. After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Roger Same, and Brad Borneal. After 2 minutes 32 seconds,
on the clock.
the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Roger Same, and Brad Borneal.
Justin and Kevin can't keep their hands off of each other tonight. .110 on the clock.
One minute left. After 3 minutes 2 seconds, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Roger Same, and Brad Borneal.
Caution straightaway.
45
Clear.
seconds left. .30 seconds left. After 3 minutes 32 seconds, the top drivers are Robert Bacozzi, Roger Same, and Brad Borneal. .15 seconds left. Fearless Leader done. Robert Picozzi done. Roger Same done. Brad Borneal done.
Justin, you're still live. Okay.
The race is completed.
All right. Podium pictures. Two-wheel drive modified. This will be Robert, Roger, and Brad. Again, Robert, Roger, and Bradford modified. Stock buggy. Will be Dan, Eric, and Mike. Again, Dan, Eric, and Mike. Stadium truck. It's going to be Dan, Daniel, and Brian. Short course. Mike, Chad, and Josh. 13.5 four-wheel drive. Jeff, Dan, and Justin. 17.5 sportsman. Graydon, Scott, and Eric.